I've got Mark with me here, also known as Brickplumber, winner of Best Star Wars Base at Brickslopes 2024. Mark, this is incredible. Tell me about your build.
This is my Death Star scenes. It's basically hangar and a bunch of scenes from the Death Star that I came up with about 10 years ago and built it.
How long did this take you?
I've worked on it probably for a year and a half.
How many, can you even estimate how many pieces might be in this thing?
Somewhere around 200,000 probably.
I'm assuming OT fan, is that the inspiration behind all of this?
I mean, I was 10 when the first one came out and I went to the opening day and I was been hooked ever since, yeah.
What are some highlights in your mind of this build, or like some incredible build techniques that you had to figure out?
The wall in the back was very fun because I built it and it has face bricks, and then I added the on and I couldn't get it on. So I learned that to put it on as you go, because I had to tear it all back apart, rebuild it and build it again. So it's a lot of, learning as you go, basically. When you build something big like this, it's a lot of thinking, before you build something, and trying to, how the wiring and how all that's going to go, and how am I going to transport it, and how am I going to make it so that it can survive a 6 or 8 or 10 hour trip.
You mentioned transporting this. How does this break off?
It's in 2 pieces.
In 2?
2 pieces.
That's it?
2 pieces, yeah. Wow. The Falcon comes out, because I don't travel with that, but all the figures stay on. It's built into there with studs sticking up, so they pretty much stay on. You might have 1 or 2 that fall over. And I built a special crate that holds the 2 pieces together. And it's a wood crate, fabricate it, have a trailer, and load it up.
Did you design this in studio, or is it all freehand?
It's all freehand.
Freehand. Man.
Not computer guy at all.
How do you begin to do you sketch? How do you conceptualize this?
This was built so long ago that the old USC Falcon is what I had.
Yeah.
And so I had that, I set it down and I just got a bunch of reference pictures, and then I just started building it to try and get the scale correct. And so it started with the hangar, and then I just kept adding stuff as I went along.
Are you watching the movie and pausing it to
Sometimes if I can't find a reference picture that I needed, but luckily there was a lot of reference pictures for this, but a lot of the other rooms, I would watch something, and some of it were imagination. I just came up with my own thing, so.
What are some fun Easter eggs you've got in the build?
Well, you'll see a lot of stuff as we go around. This is the Death Star. It's always under construction, right? So this is it's under construction, and this room down here is the cafeteria bar with all of the unique characters that you don't get to see in Star Wars. Behind the scenes. This would be the detention bay.
The trash compactor?
Chute. Yep. There's some halls. This is where Luke and Leia swing across. You can see them in the back. An arcade.
What was the inspiration behind that?
Just something funny. Place to get away.
Yeah. Are you a gamer yourself?
I'm not a gamer.
You're not a gamer?
No.
Okay. I mean, are you a fan of arcade games?
Yeah. I used to, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
obviously played all the, the arcade games. So.
I spent many a quarter on some of these X-Men games back in the day. And then this room right here?
It's around the corner. It's just a different view. This is actually not from the Death Star, but I love it. This is actually from the Super Star Destroyer.
Okay.
But I really like that like the command should be on the Death Star. This is my evil room. It's in the movie, but it's where it's the big round table, the throne, but I put all the evil characters and all of Lego, Lord Business and Thanos and all kinds of people in there.
It looks like you're recreating the Darth Vader choking scene.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a great little callback. And then we got the meditation chamber in here.
This is just one of the turrets that were on the Death Star over here.
Oh yeah, the laser?
Yeah. And then this is the room down there where they turn on the big laser that destroys Alderaan.
Such a fun build.
And then around the corner you got the hallway and some of the other things.
So I'm seeing on the lighting here, Mark, and I'm wondering how you went about doing that. Is it LEDs? What did you utilize?
These are LED strip lights that you solder together and you hook up with a 12-volt converter. There are some that are individual, like a lighting kits from a manufacturer that kind of sells towards Lego. So the individual, if you see an individual light, it just a lot of doing it. And this was built like 11 years ago when the resources for that kind of lighting were not around like they are now. Like there's 20 probably. Back then there was really one guy It was life lights. The wires are quite a bit larger and everything, but they still work. So it's just a lot of thinking how you're going to build it and incorporating and designing those lights.
You mentioned soldering. Does some of your background in plumbing help with that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in construction, so my dad was a super handy guy and just taught me a lot. So, you know, I learned a lot from just how to do all kinds of things, and that's just one thing. And a lot of it is also trying it and then learning and growing. Nowadays with YouTube channels and everything, everybody should be able to learn stuff. So a lot luckier now than we were 10, 12 years ago when you didn't have the resources that you have now.
So we're obviously recording this for my YouTube channel, and I met you last year a little bit with your Hoth model, and I gotta tell you, I was intimidated to approach you because your build was incredible, and I was relatively new to the scene. I still am, and I was just thinking, this guy's not gonna want to talk to me, and you were just one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
So I actually had my dark ages when these UCS sets started coming out. So I missed the original UCS Falcon. I ended up bricklinking mine part by part. But
Oh,
I'm
really?
noticing, yeah.
How'd you get the directions?
Online, because they have all the PDFs online.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
And so I just printed those out. It probably cost me at the time like $1,200 to bricklink it all like piece by piece. It just took a long time to
Why don't you just buy one?
because it was like $3,000 at the time.
Oh, was it the old one?
Yeah, the original.
Oh, yeah, the
it was
original.
like three or 4,000 if I were to buy it off eBay. And so instead, I'm like, well, yes, I love Lego, but I don't love Lego that much where I'm going to spend
Yeah.
$4,000, right? Liar! So I bricklinked it, but what I'm noticing on yours is,
Well, this is the newer one.
oh, okay, the one that came out 2017.
Yeah. So
okay.
yeah, when I had the old one, I customized the old one too, but the new one's just better, and so then I customized this one.
But you've built out like a full interior for this thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
How challenging was that to kind of design on your own?
Super.
Yeah.
Well, I originally tried to make it without completely disassembling it,
Okay.
and I ended up throwing it on the floor. And then I just started all over, and then
Okay.
I just made the outside frame, and then I just basically built it from the ground up. But I was trying to reuse all the same panels and everything, and then I think in the end I'm just probably going to come back and just custom build my own.
Okay.
You know, with the same design, but yeah, I was just trying to make too many things work.
What advice would you give to like someone who hasn't mocked before? Because when I see something like this, as someone who hasn't mocked, it looks very intimidating. And obviously you can't start there, but what would you suggest to someone?
Just got to work it. I mean, my first thing was a walker, and it took me a year to come up with it, and that was a long time ago. But the more you do, you know, sets, all that is learning techniques. It's literally trying and failing. Sometimes, as you know, failing is sometimes the best thing, because then you come back and go, okay, that didn't work. I got to try something different.
Mark, this was amazing. You were here last year at Brickslopes with your Hoth build.
Yes.
Any plans for next year that you want to tell us?
Probably not something big,
Okay.
something smaller,
Okay.
but I might expand this, but it won't be next year.
Okay.
Might be in a couple years.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, hey, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you again next year.
Take your time coming over.
Thanks, Mark.